I'm a scat man. Yo, do, do, do. Skimmy, limmy, yo, do, do, do. Yo, do, do, ba, 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 bee, ba, 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 do. Ba, 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 do. Wee, ba, 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 do.
0 for 13. 0 for 13. Do you know how hard 0 for 13? Like it's impossible. I put it into ChatGPT this morning, 0.1% probable.
Yikes.
Right? Like try to lose 10 straight coin flips.
That's when I saw you share that this morning, I'm like, that's a tough one, man.
I know.
But hey, you know what? Good for you to get out in front of it and stand in front of it and said, hey, I celebrate my wins and I'm going to make fun of myself in the losses because it's the life of sports betting. It happens. It happens.
NHL puck props presented by Bet99. Uncle Josh, cousin Carlo here. I gotta build up the bankroll with some German soccer this afternoon, bud. That's what we got to do. Or it's deposit season, which is never deposit season is never a good run. But I don't know if you were like the slate yesterday, like halfway through the 7 o'clock games with the 9 o'clock games and the 7:30 games going. Sorry, I think there were like 8 games going, and just 2 games had both teams had scored. Like it was a disaster for the goal front yesterday. If anybody was out there betting overs, and you saw it on the market in the morning that you started to see those totals start to get to 6 and 6.5, and maybe even push to almost 7 in that Dallas Anaheim game, which I fell asleep with and didn't expect to wake up to any winners anyway.
Right. Well,
tough one.
Hey, it just happens. It's one of those nights. You know the best way to erase those memories? Bounce back tonight.
Yes. And like, look at some of the other guys in the chat. 1 for 18. He's like, the only win I had was the Jackets win. And like that one, I know it was 5-3, but Calgary just kept coming back. Calgary just kept coming back.
I feel like that was a good betting spot, right? And
for sure,
if we were doing the show yesterday, that would probably been our favorite play because it's the new coach bump, right? It's always a good bet when you can find an angle like that.
Excuse me says no, but I appreciate everybody there early in the chat. Nick telling everybody to pump it up. If you're watching the show, don't forget to use those hype points. Hit that like button. He says, use all those hype points when you gargoyles are done so that Uncle Jingles and Cousin Carlo get a little more reach on this week's vids. I appreciate it. Old Mikey Glove Save says he tagged you in Instagram, Carlo. Take a look at it. Bodybuilding competition. He says he likes the way you were mentioning something about your post last year on winning. There you go.
It was last year, but thanks, Mikey Glove Save. And unfortunately, my DMs flooded that last week with hundreds of messages, and I apologize if I missed yours.
What did you do to elicit all those DMs? Or is that just a regular week in the life of Carlo Colaiacovo?
No, I clearly hit a nerve in the hockey world because I sent out a tweet after Canada lost, and I said that minor hockey can share the blame, and I've had almost 400,000 views on that post.
Way to go.
Yeah. So you can imagine that week the amount of phone calls and messages that I did receive, and all in a positive way. Very rarely did I entertain a negative comment.
And I'll give you your props today. The Wake Up Woodbridge crowd. I don't know. Carlo runs 4-hour morning show with Eric Rolnick at 10:50 TSN in the morning, Monday to Friday. After the Leafs game, it's open season there for the crowd to call in. And the anger, the Mitch Marner anger was angry. Like, I know, like, I get it, but like to hear the voices and say, like, hear some of the stuff, you're like, guys, this is still a game. I get it, but like,
right?
Well, that's your hand, and you said maybe that's a little too far when referencing family members.
Yeah, like, look, I can understand passionate fans, right? and I've played in front of them. I've, lived through it. I see it every day. I hear it every day. Sometimes you don't need to go as far as some people suggest you should. I mean, keep it about the player and keep it about what's in front of you. The minute you start involving family members, it's just like the conversation needs to change. And
Agreed.
Mitch Marner is a very polarizing player here because there's people that love him and there's people that absolutely hate him for what he did. So it'll be interesting to see what the ovation's like when he returns, or even in Vegas tomorrow. I mean, there's going to be there's going to be Leaf fans there.
Sure,
right? This is their first crack at them.
We'll be doing a show next Friday morning for Vegas at Toronto, and I think it was MJ or CJ. Who did you have on today talking about the media availability for him? MJ. So it was MJ saying that it'd be interesting because they play on the second of a back-to-back in both those games. So he's not available to the media on those days. Like those are the protocols for back-to-back games. So you won't be getting Mitch Marner a lot of screen time unless maybe someone from TSN, as he said, and Mark Masters does get an interview, but he doesn't have to. Correct?
No, doesn't have to. Does not have to. So we'll see.
And these are like people that don't have anything to do with your lives, by the way, people, right? You can hate Mitch Marner all you want. Talk in your group chat, sure. But like at the end of the day, like turn the game off and go back to your normal life.
Yeah. But I guess that's like, I mean, we talk about villains in sports and how there isn't enough of them. This has villain written all over it because of, I wouldn't just say his tenure here had, some mixed emotions in it, but because of his departure and the way it happened, and then the comments that were made after it happened, it hit a nerve with this fan base, and they want to make their voices heard.
Jonathan Davis saying he's on his way to Vegas for Leafs in Vegas. Attaboy.
There you go.
Another person in the chat who's lost his mind, who is actually helping us pump it up. He says, "Are Italian Canadians rare? Carlo might be the only Italian Canadian that I know of. He's obviously never been to Woodbridge."
I was going to say, he should probably make a trip to Woodbridge.
Yeah. Go to Canada's Wonderland. Canada's Wonderland was built by Italian Canadians, I think.
Yeah.
All right. We do have an ugly slate today. We do have a very ugly slate. I don't know. And everyone's talking about it in the chat. I understand that it's ugly. Let me bring up me old script here where we go and we start like Seattle at New Jersey starts things off. I'm going Beniers and Eberle for a point. Let's get that out of the way. Plus 170 to top line. I think I was on Kako earlier in the week. We got that one, but I'm going to just go with these two guys because they're playing big minutes, like 19 minutes a game. New Jersey. The Devils are still 3-7 straight up in their last 10 with one of the worst offenses in hockey, but they have scored 8 goals over their last 2 games. They'll play a 3rd and 4, which means absolutely nothing anymore these days with the compact schedule. And first, after a 4-game road trip, Seattle still rolling on the East Coast, 3-2 loss at Carolina, 4-2 win at the Rangers, 1 regulation loss in their last 10 games. I don't think this streak is going to continue much for Seattle, but I still don't think that we should trust the Devils. And the one question I wanted to get with you is obviously the Senators kind of and their locker room took over everything. But what was your take on the Dougie Hamilton situation? Like, we're going to scratch you. And it just seems like that kind of poured into a locker room that it sounds like, now these are all rumors, and I have no problem spreading rumors here. It sounds like the locker room of the Devils is run by the Hughes brothers, and the entire organization might as well. And I don't know, and it doesn't sound like that's maybe a good thing and maybe why we're seeing the situation in New Jersey. But where do you stand on the Hamilton situation? Scratch, comes back, gets 2 points. How does that treatment leak into the locker room from the front office?
Look, from an outsider, I think looking at that situation, I think it was the coach just trying to get the players' attention for getting a win, right? And you look at the win that they got; it was a big one. Who did they beat the other night? It was a team that they were underdogs in, and you would have to try to find who they played, because I want to bring up my point to it. So, the coach is not seeing the results on the ice, but he's trying to do something to salvage this season. And I think maybe with the way he viewed Dougie Hamilton was playing, maybe with the way he viewed Dougie Hamilton was represented in that locker room, that he was the guy that would get the attention of the team. So they sit him for one game. And look, with the commitment they've made to the Hughes brothers and Luke Hughes taking over that first line power play, maybe he's a guy that can be a solution to their cap issues. So there's a combination of reasons as to why maybe he was the chosen one for that decision. But sometimes you got to accept what comes out of that decision. And if it's in a positive way, you know that maybe the decision you made was the right one. And so that's the way they look at it. They don't want this to be a bad situation gone worse, with keeping him out longer and then just, creating a bigger issue than it is. He comes back. He's going to come back into the lineup. He did. It was a very successful one. And now you just try to put the pieces of the puzzle together. I do believe in the noise around Hamilton, because I studied their defense core this morning when looking at this. There isn't one defenseman that makes under $1 million that's in their top six. And so maybe they want to make room for a Simon Nemec to get more ice time, who's under $1 million. But Dougie Hamilton's making $9 million. Luke Hughes is making $9 million. Brett Pesce's making $5.5 million. Brendan Dillon's making $4 million. Kovacevic making $4 million. Siegenthaler's making $3.5 million. In order to get a young guy in there, you got to move one of your older guys. So Dougie Hamilton sort of looks like the prime candidate for that. So that's how I think.
They beat the Wild, situation. By the way, 5-2.
Right, they beat right. So that was a big game, right?
It was a very big game.
The Wild.
I think it was. I think it was a Jesper Wallstedt start too. And
it was on the road. It was in Minnesota.
Yes, and the game before that was that kind of punch him out, shoot him out early afternoon Sunday game versus Winnipeg, where both teams needed to win, and they kind of got outscored.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't trust anything from New Jersey. I don't trust anything at this price. In fact, I kind of probably lean on Seattle at plus 135 in this spot. Beniers Eberle played 20 minutes last. This combo's hit in 4 the last 5. Beniers has points in 5 straight and 9 of his last 11. I think he's like minus 110 for a point. If you're looking for more birthday action, cost me some money. Yesterday, I was sitting with old Connor McDavid, birthday boy, 3 points. Right? He's got 2 points after the 2 periods. It's a tie game. You're like, this is a layup. This is coming. Nothing happened in the 3rd period. You go to overtime. You're like, he's obviously getting a point in overtime. And then the Oilers lost to Nashville in overtime. Yuck. Berkeley Catton, birthday alert. 20 years old today, bud.
Big money on the board.
Money on the board. He's playing with Shane Wright and McCann. Only has a goal market. It's plus 650, and he's scored in 3 of his last 4 games with 4 total goals.
Wow. Kind of hot.
Turning 20.
Kind of hot.
Birthday. Remember your 20th birthday? Where were you for 20?
Jeez, where was I for 20?
On the Rock?
I think I was. 20 would be, how old was I when I was 20?
On George Street, probably.
2003. Yeah, I probably was. I was on the Rock.
Yeah, kissing fish at the bar. You ever kiss the fish?
Yeah, it screeched in, of course, many times.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
People who don't know anything about Newfoundland are wondering what the hell is happening here.
It's a famous tradition.
Yeah, famous tradition. Let's go. But that's all I got for this game. There's nothing that really excites me. Hamilton, 2 helpers, 19 plus minutes last game. Seattle, 13th in expected goal percentage on the year. Not great. Hey, how about another two crappy teams that are on my terrible power rankings, which need updating after we talk about this game? Ottawa at the Rangers. Ottawa minus 115. Rangers slight home dogs. Total at 6. Two of my bottom 5 franchise in my power rank here. Uncle Carlo. It's still Ottawa. Ottawa's still up there until they can show me that they've gotten past this situation and they might have one foot out the door. Winnipeg has worked its way up, but I think the Rangers right now might be holding the number 2 seed in my awful power rankings. Might go Ottawa and then the Rangers, and it could be close, and this game could decide. I know I ask you every time, but these bottom teams are hurting. top three worst organizations at the moment.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Well, Vancouver is definitely one of them.
Oh, he does okay. Worst home team in hockey on the year, by the way.
Who, Vancouver?
Yeah, and that's saying something.
4-12-3. Wow. That's wild.
Hey.
Sorry, go ahead.
The Rangers are like 5-16.
5-12-4. Yeah. So they would be up there for second.
Vancouver, Rangers, and then you got Ottawa, New Jersey, Columbus. Columbus is out because they made
change.
Yeah.
I would have to say Winnipeg right now.
Oh, okay.
I know they're on a 3-game winning streak, but I think their problems are deeper than that. Just with some of the struggles they've had this year, and you wonder where this goes. Like they're 8 points out of a playoff spot. And I don't know, I just don't see any help on the horizon there for them. Is it Hellebuck finding his Hart Trophy for him?
He's
right.
He's lost 11 of 12.
Maybe it's St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
but they go out and win. I lost a game, team total under 2.5, and only 3 goals were scored.
Total. Yeah, well,
Rob Thomas. They go out and they win 3-0 versus Carolina.
Yeah, well, the reason why I say that too is because Binnington's supposed to be the number 1 guy, but it's Hoffer, the guy that's winning the big games, right? So I don't know.
And then where does Anaheim fall on the sad list? Anaheim doesn't get to that list because these teams have been terrible. The Rangers have been terrible all year.
Yeah.
You don't just one bad month doesn't get you in the worst list. It gets you kind of down to it. The Ducks have 7 wins since Thanksgiving. Oh, God. They're in a tough spot. Ottawa on the second of a back-to-back, so it could be, and this is where we are with this Ottawa goaltending, could be Hunter Shepard, who backed up last night, but more than likely James Reimer, who they just signed. And that's where we could be in the spot. So this is such a hard spot. The Rangers are the second worst home team in all of hockey, 5-16 straight up. The worst offense at home in hockey at 1.9 goals per game, 3.29 goals against. They haven't been getting good goaltending since Shesterkin's out. Fox is out. Berkov's running PP1. His markets are good if you think they can score, but I don't think they can. They lost 10-2. You'd think they get a bounce-back game. They're up 2-0 versus Seattle, and then they give up 4 straight goals. This team is crap. And this is a quote from Mike Sullivan. He says, "When you don't have success, nobody feels it more than us. I understand the circumstances we're in, but the answers are inside our locker room. That's where we have to look for them." Well, keep looking, Mike, because you don't have any answers. And I don't know what to think. This is like a movable object versus someone finished that quote. I hate not being able to hit those quotes like an idiot. A movable object versus
something force.
No,
yeah, something
the
force.
opposite of it, because Ottawa should be giving up goals in this game, but the Rangers can't score at home. So I don't know. This game could be 6-4. This game could be 2-1. I have 0 bets on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about this game with 2 desperate teams that need a win? It does feel like that Winnipeg, New Jersey game on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think as Ottawa as a favorite because they barely squeaked by Vancouver yesterday, and with all the turmoil that this team is having to play through. But then again, it's the Rangers, the worst home team in the league. So it's like, how do you really find a side on this? It doesn't make any sense. So be a stay away for me.
Yeah, Ottawa's running 3 lines right now. I think the Gavrikov situation is maybe the best if you can find those assists. Ottawa 6 in expected goal percentage, which is staying. Like, you're wondering why they're well in the market, because they are a good team. They just can't get any goaltending. However, the Rangers are 26th. Maybe an exciting game here, which I wouldn't have said maybe, a month and a half ago? The start of December, Philly and Buffalo. Buffalo, a minus 150 home favorite, over under sitting at 6, and we're going double D stacking here. Byram and Powers for a point each, plus 400. If you want, just take Byram for a point, plus 110, I believe. Buffalo is 14-6-2 at home, 8-2 straight up in their last 10. Tied for the best point percentage in hockey over the last 30 days at .846. Despite the wins, Buffalo still the worst power play in hockey over the last 30 days, 9.4%, while their 82% PK ranks just outside the top 10. Philly, also terrible power play, 11.6%, 30th. Don't expect power play goals in this game. Philly's offense is in a rut, scoring 4 goals over the current 3-game losing streak, 2 or fewer goals in their 5 straight losses. Bobby Brink, questionable, could return. Jamie Drysdale's possible to return, coming off the IR. Byram, points in 4 straight, 8 of his last 10. Him and Owen Power playing 24-plus minutes. Tage and Doan, plus 180 for a point. I know they took that Doan assist away from us 2 days ago. That hurt. But I think this might be a double stack game. I think I might take the Tage, Doan, Zegras, and Konechny for around plus 500 today. McLeod, Quinn, Benson stack was plus 420, but someone said, now correct me, chat, please, if Benson did get moved to that top line. I haven't seen anything. That stack has been good, but someone up there did say that Benson might have got moved. I think Doan is online too. Okay, so I got to look at that. So I won't go there. Are you bought in to Buffalo right now? I know he's going to a tough spot, and Mitch.
Yeah, I mean, I am now more than I was, I would say, a couple weeks ago, because I was curious to see how they would come out of that 10-game win streak. They lost one and then jumped right back on the win train. And I know they got a hiccup the other night against Florida, but I like the way Buffalo is playing right now, and I feel confident that they can sustain this as long as they're getting the goaltending that they're getting between Ellis, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and Alex Lyon, who's supposed to return today or on the weekend. I have more faith in Buffalo than I've ever had in the past.
The market likes him. And do you think there's any correlation to this streak to where, like, you want to talk about a coach bump, like the GM, like all of this happened after firing the GM?
Oh, there's definitely a correlation for sure, because I just feel like in Buffalo, that was a big cloud that was hovering over them, where there was a lot of talk about the GM. And look, man, as a player, when you hear outside noise, you could say it doesn't affect you. But when you hear it as much as they were hearing it, you're expecting something to happen, whether it's a player movement or something. And then when you see the move you're all expecting to happen, it kind of puts everybody on notice, right? And players, have to start fighting for their jobs, because there's new eyes watching them. So I think it definitely had an impact for sure.
All right. We roll over city between the two teams. Barbano Bets has been tracking the trend. I've seen that the Flyers are 10-1 to the over after a loss, scoring 1 goal or less. And I think that one loss was their last game. Oslin, Norris, Doan, and then Tage, Benson, Tuck. And everyone said, hey, DFO still has that. Yeah, DFO is not updating quick. You need to, like I said, go to my there's a daily line. There's an account on X, Daily Lines, that retweets all the daily line stuff. Or go on my X, go to my lists, and go find my line list, and just scroll through there and get current stuff, because that's where Value Town is. Rachel,
Value Town, nice.
Well, Value Town, that's it, and I think that's where, Carlo. I think that's where I think there will always be value. I mean, it didn't look like it last night, but like that's how I still always build my cards. Like guys going from third line to top line that are priced like third line guys. You'll always find that value. Whether or not they produce or not is a different story, but expected value, that's where we're trying to go with this. Last one, Vegas and the Kings. Talk to me here. The Kings are not good. The Kings are not good.
Well, they haven't been good as of late.
Minus 105 versus a Vegas team that has scored 100 goals over the last 4 games. But I'm going Vegas 3-way money line here, plus 140. I wanted the team total over 3.5. I'll take this. Vegas, I wrote, might have the train back on the tracks. 4-game winning streak. Shea Theodore's back. He has goals in back-to-back games, playing 23 minutes. During the winning streak, this Vegas offense, 4+ goals in each game. 2 days rest, and you never get 2 days rest. And one thing that I've always thought about these rest days, and I think it was Paul Maurice talking about it, but you initially brought it up, teams that get to practice have such an advantage, and no one gets to practice right now.
Right. It's going to be hard with playing every other day and the condensed schedule before the Olympics. You're right.
Yep. So Vegas does get some practice in. Since the Kings lost Kopitar, they're 1-3 straight up, 9 scored. They are 7-15 straight up at home this year. Combined, these two teams, last 10 games, 14-6 to the under. The Marner-Dorofeyev combo playing big minutes with Riley Smith also on that wing. Vegas still running that 5-forward power play. Number 3 power play last 30 days at 30%. Kings, league worst penalty kill last 30 days at 71%. Might be some power play goals from the Knights. Stone, 8-game point streak. Eichel, 5-game point streak. Akira Schmid, 4-3 straight up. 244 goals against since December 1st. And I don't know if you've seen Darcy Kemper's numbers. He's played 6 of the last 7 games, Carlo. Since January 1st, 4+ goals in 4 of those 6 games. Are you back in on Vegas now that kind of you get that blue line? I know McNabb's not back, but bringing Shea Theodore really helps.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, every team goes through their rough stretches, right? And I think Vegas went through that prior to starting this 4-game win streak. And the challenge they've had all year is goaltending, right? They haven't had any health in that position. And, you know, Carter Hart now gets hurt. Aiden Hill is still not back. I think they're riding Akira Schmid. And who's the other kid that they're riding?
Lindbaum.
Lindbaum, yeah. He played the other night.
Yeah.
That's going to be their challenge. Vegas can find ways to win with the roster that they have, but it's going to be the goaltending that they get.
Go Vegas. I'm on Vegas. I'm on some Buffalo defensemen. I'm on nothing in the Rangers game. Can't say. And I don't know. Tonight might be a not very engaged slate. Let's just
don't go 0 for 13. There's 4 games.
I can.
Yeah.
Might just become a Bundesliga prop better. Get that out of the way. We'll see how that goes. But that's what we got today.
Good luck.
I know. Appreciate everybody there in the chat. Appreciate producer Mick. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, do all that, spread the news, let the boys grow. And if you're signing up, Bet99 for the first time, use that sign-up code covers NHL. Big week ahead, big football slate coming. Aiden Hill expected to play tomorrow versus Toronto. Thank you, Jeff Davis. Enjoy the game. Don't forget to boo Mitch Marner, but keep your emotions in check, people. Let's not be Neanderthals out there. All right. Appreciate everybody there. Lead us out, pal.
All right. See you tomorrow. Ciao.
I'm the scat man. Yo,